What do you think about this rookie class, and if there's any of these guys that are actually worth a look as a QB1 eventually at some point down the road this season?
So I have since the draft happened in ADP is the average draft positions taking shape, and we're trying to figure out what our strategies are. I have been uh, all in on especially Trey Lance. He was drafted by San Francisco, number 3 overall. They traded 2 future first round picks to get him. I know they're holding the party line of Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be our starter. Yada yada. I get they're saying all of those things, but the truth is, in the past decade, quarterbacks drafted in the top 3 on average play just under 14 games a season. Now that was back when we were 16 games, we're at 17 games, but the point still holds true that if you're taking the top 3, you are starting before week 5. And so I'm projecting that Trey Lance is going to get in sooner than later. We still have plenty of time for Trey Lance to be announced as the actual week 1 starter. And if Coach Shanahan came out today and said, Trey Lance, we like what we saw, he's going to be the starter week 1, this guy's ADP would skyrocket because he is one of just a couple of quarterbacks in the league that has the potential to be 1,000-yard rusher. And I don't know how much fantasy talk you guys have gone over for quarterbacks and scoring, but that's the cheat code that unlocks your quarterback's fantasy scoring is, do they run? Because usually they get a point for every 10 yards they run, or they get a point for every 25 passing yards. So if your quarterback, like that's why Tim Tebow, the recently departed from the Jacksonville Jaguars, Tim Tebow couldn't do anything on a football field as a quarterback, but he ran. So he was useful for fantasy. You combine that with Trey Lance and that cannon of an arm, which we already seen it.
Oh yeah,
what was like second or third play, an 80-yard bomb there to Sherfield, and he housed it. That potential, surrounded by Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. I mean, what Trey Lance can do for fantasy football when you add in the legs is, you would draft him as a top 10 guy right away, but because he's not the starter, you can get him with your second to last pick. So it doesn't matter who my quarterback is. I always draft him late, but let's say I grab we're round 9. I grab Ryan Tannehill. I like Ryan Tannehill. I think he's going to be solid for fantasy. But that last pick, I'm taking Trey Lance. I'm going to hold on to him for a couple weeks, wait for him to be named the starter, and as everyone makes a sprint, a mad dash to the waiver wire to throw it all, to risk it all to get Trey Lance to their team, I'm just going to be laughing in their faces as he's been on my bench the whole time.